Daniels getting his first preseason action. The third-year QB went 0 for 1 with a sack on his lone drive of the day. On the other side, quarterback Josh Dobbs was strip-sacked by former Lion Amik Robertson for a scoop and score on his very first drive, then picked off on his second drive before punching one in on the ground from 50 yards out on his third drive of the game. Trevion Williams gave the Lions the lead for a good rushing touchdown in the third to go on to win 17-13. Today's preseason action. Let's go ahead and bring in Ryan Wilson and Tyler Sullivan. Gentlemen, great to see you. Ryan, I'll start with you and Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders. Very small sample size, just one series. He was in there for Washington before they shut him down. But I guess any kind of rep is valuable at this point. What did you take away from the limited look we got from Daniels today?
Hey, Jordan. Hey, Sally. Good to see you guys. And we sort of talked about it jokingly, half jokingly. He didn't get hurt, and that's a great start for Jaden Daniels. You want to get him out there. You want him to get into the flow of an offense. You want him to see other teams across from him that aren't his teammates and get accustomed to what that looks like. And we saw him for a handful of snaps, and then he went and sat down and held the clipboard and got out of the way and didn't get hit on the sidelines. So that's a good start. But at the end of the day, this team, as we saw in 2024, is only going to go as far as he takes them, and the defense has to play better. And I thought the defense actually did play well to start this game for Detroit. Got that touchdown on that first drive on a fumble, so that's good news as well. But Jaden Daniels plus an improved defense means this team is going to be competitive in the division, or if not, it's going to look like 2025. I will say this, and you see Ethan Calavanis' name at the top there, 7th round pick out of Rutgers. He was a late riser during the draft process. I was glad to see him get out there, and he was slinging it a little bit against second, third teamers, but that's okay. He might have a chance to make this team since Marcus Mariota got banged up and may not be ready for the start of the season.
And I'll echo what Wilson was saying there with Jaden Daniels. Number one priority, get out of a preseason game healthy. Played one series and got sacked, though. So a little bit of a concern there right out of the gate there for Jaden Daniels. The offensive line had a really bad lapse that led to that sack. And that's a little sneaky story here for the Commanders as we go into this season. That came from the interior. But you got to remember, they lost Laramie Tunsil for the season. So, that protection's going to be a question here for Jaden Daniels. And we know what happened last year when injuries started to creep in. The entire season went sideways. And I will say that one guy that I do like, Chigakonkwo, he caught a pass from Sam Hartman, but that's a guy I think that could be the security blanket for Jaden Daniels amid questions along the offensive line. He can maybe hit his tight end on quicker routes there. The other thing that, Wilson, you talked about it a little bit too, generating turnovers. That's something that the Commanders were unable to do last season. I believe they only had 10 last year, and the only team that had fewer were the New York Jets, and you don't want to be anywhere remotely close to the conversation with the New York Jets. So if they can start generating turnovers, give Jaden Daniels short fields, that's going to help the Commanders bounce back in 2026.
Not a team you want to share the same numbers as, that's for sure. Let's go to Cleveland now, Tyler. The Browns taking on the Bills here, and the story, of course, is another opportunity for Shedeur Sanders as he competes for his place in that Browns quarterback room. What stood out to you most about what we saw from Shedeur today?
Well, let's set the stage here a little bit. Going into this preseason game, Todd Monken has not announced a starter. So technically, this is still up for grabs. And you have Shedeur Sanders right out of the gate, 4 for 4, touchdown drive, and really made some impressive throws out there on that opening drive in particular. Made a 4th down conversion. I thought he stood well in the pocket throughout the afternoon, and I think he did pretty much everything you could ask for a player pushing to be the week 1 starter. And yes, he did have the interception. I put that on him. Throw was a little bit behind his intended target over the middle. There really was not a lot of Buffalo Bills defenders out in front of him, so if you give that a little bit more under it, I think that could have went for a decent gain. I still think that the pass catcher should have brought that one in. If you're an NFL caliber player, you probably make that catch, but still, you put it on him if you're the quarterback. So there's some good, there's some bad, or at least still growing there with Shedeur Sanders. But overall, I thought he endeared himself. I thought that if anything, he put a little pressure on Todd Monken to make him the week 1 starter. Because if it's even between him and Deshaun Watson in terms of what we have seen this summer, you have to go with the younger player. You have to go with the potential upside. No matter how much you're paying Deshaun Watson, I think you go with the upside of Shedeur Sanders if he believes all things are equal.
Jordan, this feels like Cleveland sports radio. Two people watching the same game, coming away with different opinions. Sully is exactly right, by the way. If the young player outplays the old player, that's who you play. But in watching these snaps against the Buffalo Bills, I came away thinking that Shedeur does not look as sharp as he needs to look if he wants to win this starting job. Even on the throws that were open, he was sometimes late getting the ball out and even not insanely accurate on those throws, even though the receivers made plays just because they were so wide open. Sully talked about the interception, and we agree that's on Shedeur. You can't do that. But the other thing that I keep coming back to is during the week in joint practice, C.J. Gardner-Johnson of the Buffalo Bills kept calling Shedeur check down king. We saw glimpses of that today, too. You never go broke taking a profit is the joke I like to make. But I don't know. Todd Monken's in his first year. They don't have to win. They're not going to win the division. But do you want to win, have an opportunity to win 6 games or 2 games? And that's the concern based on what we've seen. I was hoping for more from Shedeur. We'll find out Monday, according to Todd Monken. But it feels like his odds maybe got a little longer from my perspective, while it sounds like Sully feels like maybe the race got a little tighter.
Let's hope we get some answers soon. Like you said, hopefully we find out come Monday there in Cleveland. Let's get to the Falcons and Colts now, Ryan. We knew that this one we weren't going to see many of the established starters, which means this game was really about the guys fighting for some roles. Who, in your opinion, helped themselves the most today?
Look, man, we give the Miami Dolphins a lot of guff and the Cardinals for being not very good football teams, expecting as we head into the season. The Indianapolis Colts are making a run for the money there. They are setting football back a long ways with these 2 first preseason games. Preseason week 1, they had 4 turnovers, 2 courtesy of Anthony Richardson. Week 2, penalties plague both sides, and the quarterback situation behind Daniel Jones, who's coming off that Achilles, ain't exactly setting the world on fire. So there are questions about Riley Leonard, who flashed at times in this game, but also missed throws that we've seen him miss both as a rookie and last week. And Anthony Richardson with the insane physical flashes, coupled with the head-scratching, like, what are we doing plays? Did you just start playing football 2 hours ago? Plays that we see from him. So there's a lot left to be desired, and I don't even want to get started on the defense, which couldn't stop anyone last week, struggled to stop anyone this week. A lot of work to do for Shane Steichen, and this is not even talking about getting your quarterback back from that Achilles injury that he missed the second half of last season.
Yeah, I'll echo that too. I think that behind Daniel Jones, you can't love anything that you've seen from the Indianapolis Colts. Riley Leonard, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson was like 3 of 9 passing on this game. So, like, not a lot there to get excited about, especially when you're looking at a quarterback like Wilson, you said, is coming off an Achilles injury. I mean, let's remember, last year they had to knock on the door of old man Phillip Rivers to come back here to play a couple of games. So, like, there's a little bit of a concern here. I almost wonder if QB2 is on this roster right now, or you really can't feel good about the backup situation that you have behind Daniel Jones.